The question is it possible that all of these are utilized together? Will it be possible that there is combination of different approaches in the delivery of a lesson? Yes, of course. And it all falls into constructivism approach. How? We will find out later on. Actually, all of these approaches can be combined in a constructivist classroom. In a constructivist classroom, learning is constructed and active, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. So, we just have to identify the strategies and techniques that will cover the constructivist approach in the classroom. There are suggested strategies and techniques in a constructivist classroom. You can use think and share, where students are grouped together and there will be assigned leaders to facilitate what's going on in the discussion. There will be some sharing and there will be a presenter to present the decisions of the group members. Then it could also be questions first, or the sets of questions are given first by the teacher, and then after the discussion of the topics, these questions will be readily answered by the students. And then we have the KWL plus learn what you want to know, what you know, and what you have learned. And of course, there is a plus here indicating that what do you want to know in the future for advanced study of your students. You could assign them in advance. Picture technique or the use of pictures. And then information transfer and inquiry exercises wherein the information or those that they have learned will be transferred into another form with the use of the graphic organizers also, and the inquiry exercises by answering the advanced questions provided by the teacher. The TQLR, tune in, question, listen, and review. We have also the gap analysis, wherein situations or problems will be presented and students will be free to talk about it. And then there are also advanced researches as activities. Which techniques then? Meaning, how are you going to simplify the presentation of the lesson in the classroom? It could be a dyadic exchange wherein both partners will be talking with each other, thereby exercising communication, asking questions. And then we have also the triad or by threes, milling around. It could also be by twos, or the whole class will be asking each other one by one, and the students are free also to call one of his classmates and so on. Triangulated, meaning, for example, you group your students with 1 to 5, composing of 5 groups, all ones, all twos, all threes. They will be in discussion of whatever questions that will be decided upon by the teacher. So there will be maximum participation with all the members, every single member of the group. And then we have here the fish bowl. So everybody knows this one, that there are names placed in a bowl, and then each one will be picked up so that they will be given the opportunity to answer. Thinking maps and graphic organizers that we have discussed a while ago. The roving authority, or there is an assigned leader and he will serve as the facilitator. Group presentation and so on, and a lot more. Now, what about the thinking maps and graphic organizers? Now, the thinking maps and graphic organizers are another forms of how students will transfer the concepts into another form. But make sure that despite of the availability of graphic organizers in the internet, there should be some sort of creativity coming from the teacher, wherein there will be modifications on the figures or modifications on the illustrations, because we have to make sure that the illustrations as well as the content of the thinking maps and graphic organizers are related to what you are teaching. Example, if it is about a Philippine scenario, a story on a Philippine setting, so do not just pick up from the internet material, a graphic organizer in which the illustration is on snowman, but you are after the elements of the story, but the snowman there has nothing to do with the story that you are presenting. Basically, in this slide, these are just the basic organizers that you can think of. When it comes to the illustration, it depends on the teacher how creative you will be in order to come up with your own illustrations in the graphic organizers. So we have there the for the elements of the story, when you are trying to ask the students of the title, the setting, characters, problems, resolution, and theme. And then another one, we have here the fish bowl, the fish bone, with the title, identifying the problems that arise in the story. Of course, the Venn diagram, in identifying the contrast and the likeness, the differences and the likeness of the characters or the setting. If it is somewhat historical, you can use timeline. You can even use pyramid here, also for the elements of the story. For identifying the cause and effect, then we can have the bubbles. And then also the clustering of terms. Then you can use the clusters of bubbles. And there are still so many graphic organizers that you can look around.
It is important to take note that graphic organizers play vital roles for the students to at least transfer the concepts learned into another form. You can even supply the graphic organizers for their own consumptions, so you will test them if they were able to understand all those topics, how they will be able to organize it on their own using those organizers. Now, I hope that everything is clarified, that the center of our learning process will always be our learners. Whatever pedagogy that we're going to apply in our classroom will always be depending on the kinds of learners that we have. Specifically, that we have now the 21st century learners, in which the characteristics will really require us to be more creative and innovative in the classroom. And for the next videos, we're going to talk about some designing of the tasks under constructivism, and the rest of the videos will also be talking about lesson planning and how you design task-based activities. Thank you.